prime piece of retail space remains empty. The anchor of the west end of the Columbia Mall has been empty since Target moved out about 4 years ago. The new owners of Columbia Mall would like to see something in there, but GK Development doesn't own the space. Target Corporation does. GK's president told WDAZ News in April that Target was ready to sell, but today a GK spokesperson would not comment on where those negotiations stand, and Target did not return our calls today. Well, plans are underway to relocate busy Highway 281 to higher ground.
And skies have turned partly cloudy this evening while temperatures have cooled down. The latest in tonight's Weather Watch forecast.
And a man gets to own the first home of his life in McKenna, North Dakota under a new government program.
Your home team news continues live with Cassie Walder, Milo Smith, meteorologist John Wheeler, and Pat Sweeney Sports.
Alan Larilla always wanted to own his own home, but because he was disabled and on a limited income, he didn't think that dream could come true. But today near McKenna, North Dakota, it did. Larilla applied for the United States Department of Agriculture single-family loan program, and after being accepted, he chose a home in McKenna near his job at Grand Forks Air Force Base.
Well, without this program, I never would be able to afford to buy a home, or, you know. I think it's a good program. It's going to benefit a lot of people who want to own a home, but they just can't afford to buy one of their own.
If you would like to see if you're eligible for the USDA's program, contact the Office of the Grand Forks Housing Authority.
Highway 281 near Minnewacan has been through some tough times this spring because of the rising water of Devil's Lake. On days when the wind blows from east to west, highways often crash over the roadway. Earlier this spring, the damage was so severe that 281 had to be closed. Large chunks of asphalt were torn up and dead trees blocked traffic. The highway has since reopened, and a number of projects have kept the road passable. And plans are now underway to relocate 281 to higher ground. But Minnewacan Mayor Mike Avery says it's vital that 281 remain open because it's a lifeline for several communities. Some people not happy with the new route because the road will no longer pass through Minnewacan, but supporters say drivers will be able to access it via Main Street.
The 4th of July is this Sunday, and many of you will likely be firing off fireworks that night. Jerry Breyer from Generous Jerry's Fireworks says he's seeing more families than teenagers coming in this year. He says families with loved ones overseas this 4th of July may have more of a patriotic meaning.
With the Iraqi war, that may have something to do with it. You know, people are patriotic. I think the average American thinks in terms of that it's an American thing to do, you know, to celebrate the 4th of July, our founding.
Breyer says he expects fireworks sales to be up this year with the 4th landing on a weekend. Fireworks in North Dakota are only on sale for 9 days ending on July 5th. Well, personally, I'd rather have it hot like today than cool like our spring. I'm more of a hot weather kind of a...
Well, we skipped right from cool weather right up to hot. We missed those nice little 75-degree days. Well, tomorrow won't be quite as warm as today, and our best chance of rain this week will probably be on Friday. John will tell us all about it in WDAZ Weather Watch next.
Good evening. Tonight, our WDAZ 8 Weather Watch headline, the sun. We had another beautiful sunny day today, but this evening, skies began to cloud over, at least become partly cloudy, and we've sort of lost our clear skies, but it looks like the dry weather will last for at least another day. After that, I'm not making any promises as we head toward the end of the week. Skies have not exactly turned overcast, but a few clouds have drifted in out of the west. Much thicker clouds way out to the west, covering parts of South Dakota, Montana, and western North Dakota, and there are a few scattered showers way out to the west as well. You can see them coming out of Montana, and some widely scattered storms stretching across southern South Dakota all the way into the Twin Cities area. A little line that's made it almost as far north as about Watertown, South Dakota, and out west a few showers have made it almost to the North Dakota border. These are slowly pushing in our direction, but the air locally is just too stable, too dry, a little bit too cool to allow for any storm growth in our area for tonight. The high in Grand Forks today at 78 degrees, the morning low 59, pretty close to but slightly below the seasonal average for today. And it has cooled down quite a little bit tonight. We're already at 67 here in the Forks area. 66 Devils Lake, 63 Halleck, 66 Thief River Falls. Temperatures have cooled down behind a weak cool front that blew through our area during the day. Tomorrow we'll spend the day on the north side of that cool front, which means we'll continue seeing the light northeasterly winds. Skies tomorrow likely to be sunny to partly cloudy. Early morning temperatures down to around 50. I think it'll cool down a bit. At 8 o'clock, though, will be about 54. Noontime back up close to 70 and well into the 70s tomorrow afternoon. This is not going to be cool weather such as what we were getting a week ago. This is just a little bit cooler than the last couple of days. Big picture showing high pressure trying to drop into the area. This is some cool weather with this high, but instead of dropping straight south, it's more headed toward Manitoba. This stationary boundary basically marking the difference between dry and cooler and warmer and more humid air to the west. Warm front low pressure building up into western North Dakota, where it's likely to rain tomorrow. For our own region, though, it looks like mostly sunny skies. We'll get a few clouds blowing off from the west from those storms, but the storms tomorrow will stay in the western Dakotas, maybe central South Dakota. But they'll start moving in our direction, bringing at least a chance of a few scattered thunderstorms to our region by Friday. That forecast and the forecast for the 4th when we come back.
And what did you think?
I thought it was great.
And Joey?
Absolutely thrilled. No hitting, no biting, no sippy cups, and no pacifiers. And Ginger's got her smile back. This week with the Lorimores has been a testament to patience.
Story of a lot of redistricting going on. Both of these are representatives. Frost is out.
And Martin Frost is one of the higher-ranking members of the Democratic leadership team, redistricted into a very Republican seat. This is what Texas, the redistricting here, means that Democrats really started off back on their heels and really in a hole and trying to dig out of that.
Let's stay down here looking at Kentucky. Some star power in this race.
Yes.
Actor George Clooney's father running as a Democrat, a longtime newscaster there. Not enough to give him the lead here.
Not in a state that went so strongly for George Bush, even Clooney's name ID. And you're right, it was more than just he was George Clooney's dad, but as a longtime TV anchor, he had his own personality and people knew him quite well, but that just wasn't enough in a tough state.
As you look at this Pennsylvania race and also the Arizona race, Republicans winning on both of those, what do you see? What jumps out?
I see that these are two swing districts. Again, both were held by Republicans. The 8th district is an open seat. This is Bucks County, Pennsylvania, county in the suburban Philadelphia area that had been going for Republicans for a long time. It is moving, but unfortunately for Democrats, they couldn't do that, any better there. Fitzpatrick winning quite handily. And in Arizona, where Rick Renzi, the Republican incumbent, won very narrowly last time in a very swing district, looks like he's going to have a big win on his part. He ran a very, very good, strong campaign.
So these 6 races giving you a sense of what is going on around the country right now. Republicans, we can project at this point, retaining control in the House. Wolf?
Anderson and Amy, thank you very much. Let's bring in the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dennis Hastert from Illinois. CNN has projected, Mr. Speaker, you will remain the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We are projecting, no great surprise to you, that the Republicans will be in the majority. Go ahead and give us your reaction.
Well, thank you, Wolf. Of course, I always have one more election to go to be Speaker, but we hope that we can put that over the board. I'm pleased. We had some great pickups this year, this election. We've had some tough races, tight races. You talked about Rick Renzi in Arizona. He just worked hard, went back to his district, did the things that he needed to do. We also were pleasantly surprised in northern Kentucky, where we picked up a seat. We still have a seat down in southeast Indiana that is in play. We have a seat in the Central Valley of California that we could pick up. And we're holding the seats that we had to hold. We've lost a couple, but that was to be expected.
I assume you're looking at your colleagues in the Senate. Do you sense that the Republicans are going to maintain their majority in the U.S. Senate?
Well, right now, the way it appears, it looks like we've picked up a great pickup and held a seat that was in some trouble in Oklahoma and had a great pickup there. Jim Bunning held on, which is very helpful. And then we've had pickups, it looks like, in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and of course we're waiting to see what happens in Florida.
Mr. Speaker, this is Larry King. What's the Republican problem in Illinois?
Well, you know, one of the things, it started, I think, at the Senate spot. Our candidate for Senate dropped out in July, which is late, and just kind of took the air out of our party. We've been struggling to come back with some problems that we've had in the last couple of years. But, you know, I look at it as also a challenge for us. We have some great young people coming up in the Republican Party. We have the Republican leader in the House, the Republican leader in the Senate, and a great chorus of young guys coming up, men and women that I think they've been the farm team, but they're going to have to step up and be the first team now. And we have, of course, a governor's race coming up in 2 years, and I think we're going to be back.
One final question, Mr. Speaker, before I let you go. What were you thinking when you brought in Alan Keyes from Maryland to be your candidate to challenge Barack Obama?
Well, you know, unfortunately, our candidate stepped out in July. In Illinois, it takes $6 or $8 or $10 million to get the name recognition you need to get. I interviewed 4 other candidates that I thought would have been good candidates. None of them thought they could raise the money to do it. To some, Alan Keyes meant that he could walk in, didn't need to have name recognition, and could take over. And it just didn't work out that way.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, and presumably he will remain the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dennis Hastert. Once again, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break right now, but we're going to continue our coverage. When we come back, we'll take a very close look at the actual numbers in Ohio, that state shaping up to be pivotal, as so many of us expected. We'll see what the actual raw numbers are. We'll see what's happening in Ohio right after this break.
CNN's coverage of America Votes 2004 is brought to you.
More Americans watch CNN than any other news channel.
Want to update the Electoral College tally that we have right now. The race for the White House with 270 Electoral College votes needed to be elected president. Right now we've projected President Bush will carry 246 electoral votes, John Kerry 188. 246 to 188, 270 being needed to win this race. Let's take a look at the popular vote as it stands right now. President Bush has got about 51% of the vote, just more than 45.5 million votes. John Kerry with 48% of the vote, 42.6 million votes. Ralph Nader 1%, 316,000 votes. This is with 71% of the precincts reporting. Jeff Greenfield, this is almost, what, a 3 million spread?
It's very close to a 3 million vote spread, and we have never in American history seen a situation where a popular vote spread that big could remotely lead to an electoral college win for the other guy. I'm not predicting that because Ohio's still out. The other thing is, this is suggesting a turnout of about 115 to 120 million. Everybody assumed that if turnout was that high, that had to benefit John Kerry. The numbers in the popular vote simply don't show it, Wolf.
And one other quick thing, the poll showed 49-49. That's wrong.
Well,
and
not wrong yet. Not wrong yet. There's still more than almost 30% to go.
And I think if he wins Ohio and Alaska, he wins, right? Ohio's 20. I think it's over.
Well, Ohio, there's no doubt, is a key state. We're watching Ohio. That sets the stage for Bill Hemmer. No one is taking as close a look at Ohio as Bill Hemmer is. For one thing, he's from Ohio. He knows that state quite well.
Wolf, good evening again, or we should say good morning. It's 12:38 a.m. back in Columbus, Ohio. We're starting to crunch the numbers in the state, trying to figure out with George Bush about a 3-point lead right now in the overall vote count. But where does he need to get votes? And then conversely, where does John Kerry need to get votes? We've been using Spatial Logic, a great new software system throughout the night here, and it's revealing some very interesting things too.